Taylor here. Now I'm doing a video about jumping from JV to open, which I have done twice. I did it in high school in a very local circuit where that jump was a little bit less intensive, although at the time it was certainly intensive for me. And I also did it in college from JV to open. And frankly, I don't even think I should have been competing in JV, although the pivot to open in college for me was much more difficult. And so I'll try to talk about both high school and college in this video because there are lots of college teams that also have really robust JV programs and where people need a little bit of help jumping into open for the first time. I mean, obviously, debating in open can be really intimidating for a lot of people because the top teams in the country or in your circuit debate in open. And the jump from JV to open, of course, exposes you to the very top of debating. And it also exposes you to other people who might be at a much more similar level to you as you're moving out of JV. And so there's a lot of opportunities to learn a lot very quickly when you make this jump at first. The first thing I want to say, and I don't say this to be mean, I just really think it's good advice, is that you should prepare to lose. And I don't mean you should go into debates feeling doomed. What I really mean is that you should be prepared to take some losses. You should be emotionally prepared to take some serious losses. I certainly did. You know, I was at national tournaments in college going to when I made the jump from JV to open. And it's important to understand those losses not as commentary on what your skill forever will be, but as a self-assessment tool, right? As, okay, I'm here, you know, in the trenches, I'm figuring out how to improve at a certain set of skills that I know that I need in order to be competitive in this division. And so you should anticipate taking losses, first of all, because it makes all of the wins, even if they're small, feel much sweeter, you know? And second, you should anticipate taking losses because it will help you in your journey of understanding what it is that you need to know in order to really be a competitive debater in open. The second thing that I would recommend is that you should not forget all of the things that you learned how to do in novice and JV. A lot of those skills, if you really focused on building them, will come in handy when you're debating in open. Because first of all, there are a lot of debaters in open who may have great competitive success, who may have a good rapport with the judges, but who lack some of the basic argumentative skills. And that's something that you can take advantage of, right? I strongly believe that any team can win any debate, you know? Even the very best team that you've ever seen, they can take an L. They absolutely can. And it's possible that they could take it to you. So you already have hopefully a basis of how debate works and what constitutes good argumentation in debate. And you should absolutely use that to your advantage. Like, you should not be too intimidated to see the mistakes that the other team makes when you debate them. You should absolutely take advantage of that. And thinking about it in that way will hopefully help you to deal with some of the stress of, you know, when you get the presets or you get the first pairing and you're like, oh no, you know, we're debating XYZ team and they're really good. It'll help you manage some of the stress of that because you know that you can be in the debate, absolutely. And then it also may result in some wins. But even more importantly, it will help you push yourself to make the absolute best arguments that you can in every single debate, because that's what's required of you, right? And the more that you do that, the more that you'll grow much more quickly, you know, than if you don't. The other thing that I want to say about making the jump from JV to open, you know, beyond just like you may lose, but you should really try to do your best, is that it's really important when you make that jump, and really when you make any divisional jump, that you and your debate partner have a strong partnership, and that you both feel like you can support each other. In the past, when I've made this jump, I've had some struggles because, you know, maybe I was feeling more confident about going into open than my debate partner, or vice versa. And that can be really difficult because it makes one side of the partnership feel very, very stressed, like feel like they're not even going to measure up to their own debate partner, which adds a layer of like imposter syndrome and, I mean, you know, all kinds of stuff. And so it's really important that the two of you have a really strong basis for communication, so that, you know, so that you can be honest with each other, so that one person can say, hey, I'm feeling really nervous for this tournament. And the two of you can together figure out how to navigate that and how to build a supportive partnership. Of course, it's important to have supportive partnerships in novice and JV, but it's even more important in open, and particularly right as you're making the transition to open, because you want to make sure that you have a really solid basis to deal with all of the stresses that being in open at the first part of your career, you know, of being in open can bring. And it's also a good idea to just practice good partnership skills. Like, I do think that that's one of the things that debate can teach us if we let it. So those have been my tips about making the jump from JV to open. Best of luck to everybody who's doing that. I know that it can be tough, but remember too that everybody who has competed in open has at one point or another made that shift and that transition. And you should absolutely feel comfortable asking lots of people who you know who have competed in open how they made the transition as well. I'm sure they have plenty of good advice. Best of luck.